An open letter from Valentino to the American public. Photoplay, January 1923. To my dear friends, in the past few months, I have received many thousands of letters from my friends in the motion picture audiences of America, asking me why I had ceased to make pictures and what I intended to do in the future. The newspaper reports of the court proceedings were for the most part unfair and ridiculous. I was pictured as highly temperamental, as grasping for money, and they made much out of certain little incidents brought out at the trial to prove that I had been unjustly treated. It is a great privilege, therefore, to be able to talk to you through the pages of Photoplay magazine, for which I have a great admiration, because it has always been fair and impartial to producers, actors, whether they are stars or not, authors, and directors. It was you, the fans, who made me. When I played Julio in The Four Horsemen, no one in the industry expected me to become a star. I did not dare hope for such a thing. But you discovered me and created me. Your kindness came to me at a time when it seemed that things could not be more desolate. You made theater managers know me, and you caused film magazines and newspapers to be conscious of me. I am more grateful than you will ever know. It is a great honor, but a greater responsibility. Idols are created to be shattered. My pedestal is at present a little too high to be entirely comfortable. I feel too humble for such an altitude. In the very nature of things, I know that I cannot occupy such a position very long. But before I fall, I hope to bring you my little best, as my gesture of thanks for all that you have brought to me. You write and tell me that I bring romance into your lives. You say I give you color and beauty and dreams. I wish that I had more English words at my command to express to you what such a faith in me means. It is so difficult for me to show you that this has not made me proud of myself, but rather very humble and eager to serve you. Please do believe that. Perhaps I can best explain it by saying that it makes me feel that personally I do not matter. I feel as though I were simply a medium through which these things were being given to you. It is that I feel quite unreal. The Rudolph Valentino you have brought forth is very different from the Rudolph Valentino who actually is. I assure you he is quite a commonplace fellow. But this other Valentino, this shadow personality, must dedicate himself to the work you expect of him. For him, there is only work, constant creative work. He must strive to be that character whom you want to see. He must try to show to you the beauty and joy of love, the radiance of life, and the tragedy of death. He must try to live for you those dreams that you may not have been able to work out for yourself. He can no longer belong entirely to himself. Were I an artist working in any other medium, I could give to you, as far as my ability would permit, whatever product I desired. Were I a painter, I could choose my own colors. Were I a musician, I could play my own melodies. Were I a Rodin, I could try to create for you a hand of God. But I am only an actor on the screen. As such, I am dependent upon my producers. When my producers in November 1921 offered me a contract, I knew nothing whatsoever about the film business. I knew only the acting end, and very little of that. I had never before worked save on the picture-to-picture basis. Therefore, when they told me not to bother with details, that everything would be arranged as I wanted it, I signed without further hesitancy. I did not bother to investigate. I was not a good businessman. My contract called for $1,250 a week. After I had paid for many of the clothes to be worn in my pictures, and every actor requires an extensive wardrobe of expensive clothes, and had answered thousands of fan letters every week and sent my pictures when they were requested, you can imagine I had very little left. But even at that, I was willing to go on at the same salary if they would permit me to make real photo plays, instead of making cut and dried program features that can be hacked and torn and compressed into a given number of feet of film to fit so many cans, like so many boxes of sardines. I was not temperamental. I was not grasping. I do not consider myself a great actor yet. But I did have in me a deep feeling for the art of the motion picture, gratitude to the public, and an overwhelming, almost terrifying feeling of my responsibility to continue to appear in good pictures, and to continue to be worthy of the praise that you heaped upon me. When I was offered $7,000 a week by the same producers if I would go back to work on the cut and dried program picture basis, I refused it. And when I refused it, I agreed to go back to work on my old salary if they would permit a certain writer and a certain director to have the last word on the pictures to be made. I tried to withdraw my personality from the controversy entirely. These two people are recognized by the producers as fair-minded, capable craftsmen and artists, but they wouldn't even agree to that. When I saw The Young Raja, the last picture in which I appeared, and on which I worked day and night, I felt I had raised the issue one picture too late. I was terribly disappointed in it. I felt sick. I appreciate that the producers have a problem. If they turn out program pictures, all of equal length, and all to be run the same number of minutes, and all supposed to cost approximately the same, some cannot be as good as others. But I felt it was an imposition to put me in weak stories in order to bolster them up, just because the public had shown a disposition to flock to see those in which I appeared. 3 or 4 pictures of this kind would kill me. You would say, "We thought Valentino was great. He isn't so good." While, as I said, I am not selfish for money, money means very little to me, and I have gone without it long enough to be used to it, I am selfish in wanting to make good pictures. I don't want to be a cog in a machine that grinds them out in a cut and dried fashion. Art cannot be measured by inches. I say today that if this company will permit the writer and director in whom I have such confidence to have the last word on pictures in which I appear and run them story length, if they will give me the contract I thought they explained to me I was getting in the first place, I will go right back to work. But I won't go back to work unless they let me make good pictures. My salary of $1,250 a week may seem like a great deal of money, but it is actually less than the salary of any other prominent star on the screen. Mary Miles Minter gets $8,000, Norma Talmadge $10,000, William Farnham $10,000, Thomas Meighan $5,000, to mention but a few. And if they were not worth it to the companies they work for, the companies would not pay it to them. If I continued on the old basis, I could not be true to myself nor true to you. There is a clause in my contract that prevents my doing any other work whatsoever. So while I am fighting this case, I cannot even become an undertaker's assistant if I should want to. I believe, however, that I am going to win. My debt of gratitude to you is very great. I have faith in the kindliness of your hearts. Sincerely, Rudolph Valentino.